Hey guys, it's your brother in Christ, Weston. Thanks for joining me today. So today's article comes out of End Times Headlines. Let's get into it. Okay, in in real life Jurassic Park, I can't believe I'm reading this, but I saw it and I was like, this if we can do this, bring back extinct. Like, I get like, how do we even know what we have? It's like, how are we doing this? Like, do you have the DNA of this? Okay, let me just read. Woolly mammoths step closer to coming back after scientists engineer woolly mouse. Look at these little mouse. They look super cute. Like, look at those little things. The woolly mouse. What if you just had a giant mouse that was your friend? Like, I had a friend, like, I know people might think they're weird or whatever. I had a friend who had a rat, right? Like, growing up, he had a rat. And her name was Maxie. And she was the sweetest. Like, I remember never seen a person with a rat. It was a rat or a mountain, whatever. Definitely a rat. She was about yay big, like this big. She would just hang out. That's it. Like nothing to it. Nothing to it. I used to have a guinea pig. They're just like I had a guinea pig as a pet before, so I see this little thing and I'm just like, think of a woolly mouse. Like, what if I just had this giant mouse dog thing that just showed up and his name is uh Tusker because he has no tusks, but he's a mouse. So I'm just spitballing it. This is like supposed to be lighthearted, but not because this is weird. It says in groundbreaking development that has captured the imagination of scientists and public alike, researchers at Colossal Biosciences have engineered a genetically modified mouse with traits reminiscent of the long extinct woolly mammoth. Dubbed the woolly mouse, this small rodent represents a significant milestone in the ambitious quest to resurrect the iconic Ice Age giant, which vanished from the Earth approximately 4,000 years ago. How are you? How do you even know? Like, I'm trying to figure out, like, how do you even have like DNA or anything of the sorts, unless it's like a woolly mammoth that's like frozen in time, iced over, and you have it sitting in your underground bunker where the aliens are at, and the reptilians, and the greys, and the giants, and the Nephilim, and they're all just sitting here, just just demonically doing whatever. Like that's my mind, and then it just goes to Jurassic Park. Like, oh, we've got a park with dinosaurs, and we made some, and we thought we could control it, and we can't, and now they're running rampant. This is wild. I'm waiting for the saber-tooth tiger to show up. I'm waiting for the giant bugs to come back, when is supposedly the air was the oxygen was so much more back in the day that all of the creatures we find disgusting and terrifying, like just terrifying, let's say spiders, were massive, massive, like as big as this room kind of situation. How are we doing this? Um, According to CNN, the report was published on March 4th. That's today. The woolly mouse boasts curly whiskers and wavy, light hair that grows 3 times longer than that of an ordinary mouse. Colossal Biosciences, a Dallas based biotech company. See, I live in the DFW area, so why are we doing this? Engineered this rodent by editing 7 genes to incorporate mammoth like traits such as long, thick fur and adaptations potentially linked to cold tolerance. The company's scientists identified genetic variants unique to woolly mammoths by comparing their DNA to that of the Asian elephant. The mammoth's closest living relative, then introduced corresponding changes into mouse embryos. So they were doing like CRISPR kind of stuff, where we talked about like making like designer babies. I remember we made a video about that. Designer babies, superhumans, where you could start literally editing the gene sequence to like not feel pain, to be a certain color, to uh, have some kind of tolerance to something. That stuff is very real. So it makes sense. I can see how they do that. What I'm trying to figure out is like, how do you even know like what's the DNA of a mammoth, that's even though its closest relative may be an elephant? How do you do that? And if how do you do that, and then what else are you doing? It's always about like the what else. Like, what else are you doing, bro? The company scientists identified genetic variants unique to the woolly mammoths by comparing their DNA to oh, I already read that. Dr. Beth Shapiro, Colossal's chief science officer, described the creation as an important step towards validating our approach to resurrecting traits that have been lost to extinction. The AP News, in a story dated March 25th, elaborated on the process, noted that the team targeted genes relative to hair, texture, and fat metabolism, qualities believed to help the mammoths thrive in the Arctic. That's why they would have cold tolerance, so that makes sense. Resulting mice nicknamed Colossal Woolly mice. That's a good name. That's a good name. Sport golden shaggy coats, curled whiskers, a stark contrast to their standard counterparts. Let's watch this little video right quick of the woolly colossal mice. Oh my gosh, that's a great name. It's actually really good. Um, okay, let's see. Here we go.
Colossal bioscientists have created the woolly mouse in their mission to de-extinct the mammoth by 2028. One of the biggest challenges on the path to woolly mammoth de-extinction
It's
is
like a golden
identifying which
retriever
genes
mouse.
bring about its cold-tolerant phenotype. Colossal analyzed 59 woolly, Columbian, and steppe mammoth genomes ranging from 3,500 to over 1,200,000 years old, and used computational analysis to compare a dataset of 121 mammoth and elephant genomes to search for them. Even armed with this huge dataset, a whole animal model remains the best way to test for the ultimate consequences of DNA edits. We didn't just shove mammoth genes into a mouse, that wouldn't make any sense. Chief Science Officer at Colossal, Dr. Beth Shapiro, said. They used RNP mediated knockout, multiplex precision genome editing,
Hmm.
and precision homology directed repair to make 8 edits simultaneously, resulting in colossal woolly mice that grow hair up to 3 times longer than wild type mice. The edits were carefully screened and tested to ensure the animal's welfare was maintained. There were no unintended consequences except adorability, said CEO and co founder of Colossal Biosciences Ben Lamb. The colossal woolly mouse marks a significant step in the goal to de extinct the mammoth, a goal that Lamb says is still on track for 2028.
Bro, what? Who? So if we're doing like the reason why this is not good is because if we're doing stuff like this, um, you have to understand like there is a sense of ethical. You're gonna hear the wind. We have a crazy wind going on right now in Texas. Um, there's some like ethical means behind this. Like, we remember we talked about like at one point we talked about hold on, woolly mice. I gotta save this. Um, we talked about like transhumanism and how like a show called Cyberpunk is where they would they become more machine than they do become human, and so now they're mostly machine. Their parts are changed out. Like as they get a better heart, their heart is pumping too much, so they have to have like the lungs to withhold the blood pumping, or if they have certain lungs, then they have to have a heart and a liver or some other things to be able to detox what's inside them because there's metals in there, and the body has to be changed in such a drastic way that they become more machine than they are man and wanting to live forever, right? The so but this idea of resurrecting something, you heard that, I heard that very clearly. Resurrecting something, like trying to play God. 1.2 million years ago, bro. I don't believe the earth is that old. I just don't. I believe in a old earth, but not like that or that old. I don't think it's 1.2. I just don't. I believe what scripture says. And if there's anything predating that, that's got to be an antediluvian kind of situation where there was something happening on the earth that we just don't have all the information for. And then I could believe that, and that's okay. Um, but I'm talking like maybe what we're 2000 in, maybe 4 to 6 thousand like back, maybe four to six back. So it's like 8,000 total years. 4 to 6 thousand BC, somewhere around that range, 2000 AD. So when I hear stuff like that, I'm just like, I don't know. I don't think it's that old. People are gonna call me crazy or whatever. It's totally fine. Oh, science is my god, and science says this, and science still can't. Science still says that everything made nothing, or nothing made everything. I stop. Be rational, bro. Like at least on that part, and then tell me you can tell me that I am clueless or whatever thing you'd like to tell me. But at least be logical, rational, and reasonable when you start talking about stuff like that, because you sound goofy. Um, And don't be silly around. You can be silly around here. Just know that silly questions gonna have silly answers. Um, anyways, oh my goodness, there's so much more to go through. The outlet emphasizes the experiment serves as a testing ground to confirm genetic edits. So they're trying to make sure that like see what happens. Um, Colossal CEO hailed achievement as a watershed moment, stating by engineering multiple cold tolerant traits from a mammoth to evolutionary pathways into living model species, we've proven our ability to recreate complex genetic combinations. See, I believe there is something that happens with the seed obviously being tainted. Remember the seed of the woman and the seed of the serpent. And the seed of the woman is going to be people who are saved, and the seed of the serpent is trying to recreate a Messiah the whole time. It's a bloodline. That's what we're literally, it's what we see. We see the seed of the serpent, and we see the seed of the woman. And a seed of the serpent would be like something that produces like a giant or a Nephilim when the sons of God came into the daughters of man and knew them, and they bore to them giants, ancient men of renown, the ancient men of old. Right? These are Nephilim, half man, half like demigods. Is where we get that half celestial, half terrestrial, and then they die, and out of the giants as they die come the demonic spirits, which is where we get demons. Um, and that's how demons are spiritual, right? And it's like this is like Enoch kind of stuff, and I believe that. Like I believe that sounds doesn't even sound wild. That sounds like extremely right on point. Like I don't even know of another way how this would happen. Um, and when I hear something like that, it's like, what are you trying to reproduce here? What's the point? Get a hold of this kind of technology. You talked about all the multiple edits that they were talking about, which I can't even speak to. And I'm just thinking in my head, I'm like, okay, like where's this going? And I can't put my finger on it right now as I'm reading this, but like it feels like something antichrist about it, something and somebody's gonna like, not everything's demonic. I believe that. I fully believe that not everything's demonic. Not everything is a demon. Not everything is whatever. And I and when we start talking about resurrection, bro, it's a direct link to Jesus. When you start trying to resurrect things that have been dead for thousands of years, as I go back thousands of years, I think about antiquity. I think about Bible. I think about history. I think about angels and fallen angels and Satan and Jesus and demons and all the things that we read about. So it's like, well, where does this ideas? What are these ideas of these thoughts? Like, where are they coming from? Um, what else does it say? She warned. So there's a part here that says, um, she warned that it's I've skipped over a lot, but there was a part that says she warned that the ethical implications of reviving extinct species remain unresolved, particularly regarding their introduction to modern ecosystems. CNN noted the skepticism from experts like Tori Harridge, University of Sheffield, who questioned whether scientists fully understand the genetic changes needed to make elephant fit for Arctic life. Yeah, because it's just like, what are you doing? Like, you may be crushing ecosystems, you may be making something else extinct, or creating like literally creating something that we talk about all the time that you see in movies. You're like, you create an animal, and all of a sudden it's like it grows like a horror movie. They create something and then it grows 10 times faster, and all of a sudden it's adult by like 5 hours later. You're like, what am I doing? What is going on here? There's something to this. I just can't put my tongue on it. Um, I can't put my finger on it. That's my tongue on it, my finger on it. But maybe you guys can. And I'd love to hear what you guys think. So yeah. Anyways, guys, this video, if you like the video, be sure to like the video. If you want to see more, be sure to subscribe. Thank you all for 1,000 subscribers. I haven't made a video on it just yet. I just want to say thank you. Thank you, everybody who's believed in me, everybody who stayed around, everybody who has watched or commented or subscribed, whether you like me or you don't like me, or you're just here to kind of see what I say in my little corner of YouTube. I don't get any money for this. I won't get any money for this for a very, very long time, unless I get 4,000 subscribers and like a lot more watch hours. So I'm not even close, but yet one day the dream is real. That I'll be able to maybe do this as a side gig one day for to support my family, and maybe one day I'll be able to do this full time. That would be great too. But other than that, I'm just doing what the Lord wants me to do, which is make videos, talk to you guys. Leave the comment section open for you to be able to say whatever you want, whether you disagree, whether you're not a believer or at all. Because that's what we're here for, to plant seeds and to lead people to Christ and to love people regardless of their disposition. And to talk about weird, wacko things like this that have really crazy implications. And I don't have all the answers and all the thoughts, but I know that some of y'all do. Some of y'all have things that I'm literally drawing blanks. But anyways, guys, I'll see you in the next one.